Oh yeah. So test that out. And you can see you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, screen again.
Hello. Okay. I know, I'm so curious. And do you pull it up on the I want to bring it up on my laptop so I can see what is going on. So I'm gonna do that, but I'll turn the volume down. Whoops. Okay. TikTok virtual couch. Are we live? Whoa. Hey now. Hold on. Okay. Live. We're live. Hey everybody. Welcome to the virtual couch. I need to be more.
Hello.
Okay. Can you hear you?
I don't know. I'm about to see.
Okay. So somebody say if you can hear Sid.
I think you can.
Okay. If I view my profile and I go live. Okay, here we go. I just want to be able to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see.
Okay, you can talk.
I can see. All right. I can send myself coins or those kind of things. The virtual couch join. Here we are. Yes. Thank you, user. That's a lot of numbers. Hey, welcome everybody. Sydney and myself, Sydney and me, we're here answering questions. Okay, the laptop is right there. Is that too in the way?
That's better.
Oh, should I do it on here? Okay. Do I even need it? Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, we want your questions, your relationship questions, your mental health related questions. I am not your therapist, although I can help. I want to answer your questions. So anything about relationships. Sid, do you have any questions to start off?
No.
No. Okay. Very good.
I know all the answers.
Well, okay. I'm going to tell you a story, and it has to do with your dog, Kobe, and a cat named Millie. Okay. First of all, do you know if I gave you a reference of Milo and Otis? Do you know who they are? Okay. It was a movie that you loved and adored as a child.
It's giving Lilo and Stitch.
Curious Cat and a Pug-Nosed Pup.
I don't care.
You don't know this? Okay, so I maintain as a therapist that works with the emotionally immature people, even those that have narcissistic traits, tendencies, that sort of thing. Then I am convinced that we refer to everybody as narcissistic, and some people rightly so, but most of us are really incredibly emotionally immature, and so that's the population I work with. I maintain though that cats are narcissistic, and I just think that is a fact. And
I don't agree.
Why? Tell me more.
I heard that cats make evil spirits go away. So I think that they are the opposite of narcissists.
Okay. And I'm willing to acknowledge that. Let me kind of tell you a story though, because there's a cat named Millie.
Oh, someone asked a question.
Okay, let's jump right in there. I can save my narcissistic cat rant for later. But yeah. Okay.
I can't wait.
I don't believe you.
Why can't I let my ex go? It's like I'm hoping they will chase me after I felt the need to block them.
Oh, I want to know more too. And okay, so I see that too right there, Nicole. Thank you. We can get into the concept of the trauma bond, and let me start by going really deep into the weeds on this one. And I'm grateful for your honesty, because a lot of the people I work with, they don't like how they were treated in a relationship, but yet
Real nerd wants to hear about the cat.
Oh, real nerd. Hey, real nerd. We'll get there. I will tell you about the narcissistic cat named Millie. But back to Nicole though, what I appreciate about that is that is confusing to think. Okay, I blocked this person. I don't like the way they were treating me, but now I don't want to let them go. And this is what we refer to as a trauma bond. It sounds real dramatic, and actually this fits in well with the whole concept of what we're talking about with pets. The way that you essentially train a pet, an animal, is you are the person that gives them both the punishment, so to speak, and also the reward. So when you're trying to train a dog, and this is why our dogs, Sid, are crazy and they're not trained.
I let them do whatever they want.
We all do. I mean, we all do, because none of us really want to be mean to the dog.
I want them to be themselves.
Exactly. Even if all they do is just beg and want treats.
That's why I wouldn't be a mom either.
Okay. But it's funny though, if you look at the way that works though. So a lot of times in relationships, the person who is more narcissistic, incredibly emotionally mature, they will dole out the validation, or they will give compliments sometimes, but other times not. And it leaves you wondering why. Why didn't they acknowledge this? Or why were they nice sometimes and not other times? And so then you are on this quest to figure out, okay, what is it? Me? Am I the problem? And so then what happens? People get used to this intermittent reinforcement. So sometimes this person's this way, other times they're not. And it must be me and I would love for you to jump in on this too, because have you felt that before where you have been confused at why sometimes the partner.
Yes.
Okay.
This like just happened to me.
So tell me about it, right?
And I hated it, so I stopped talking to them.
Yeah.
It's much better.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, did you even notice that it was happening?
No. I think I did, and I just ignored it because I didn't care because I was enjoying the attention.
Okay. And I think that's a really good point, because at the beginning of relationships, you hear this concept of love bombing, which sounds really dramatic, but early on in relationships, a lot of times we're putting our best foot forward and we're acknowledging, we say, oh no, I like all the same things this other person does, but we might not even be completely honest with ourselves, but we don't want that person to think that we might have a different thought or opinion, because then they will lead me, as if we have to be completely aligned on everything to be in a good relationship. Yeah, I want to hear.
And then Nonchalant King, we'll get to your question after.
Oh, hey, welcome. Okay.
She wanted to marry me in month 2. But month 3 stated she can't match my energy.
So right there, I mean, look at that. It's let me go on a tiny little tangent. Earlier today, I was talking with a couple, and they're both very highly professional and intelligent people. But in the relationship, the wife finally expressed herself that she was frustrated in the fact that he was not curious about her experiences. And then he said things like, well, you don't ask the right questions, or you tell me the things that I don't necessarily care to hear about, which, just break that down alone. He's basically saying, well, I'll talk to you when you say things that I like you to say and when I want to, and I'll be the one that's in control of what I want to hear and when I want to hear it, which you can't have love or control in an adult relationship, only one. And I'm a big fan of love. So in that scenario, it's now that I can see the comments, now I need to stay focused because I just lost my train of thought. But she wanted to marry. Oh, so this person, the wife finally expressed herself, and the guy didn't handle it very well. Then he gave her the silent treatment for a week, and then he said, "Hey, actually, let's buy something new together." And she said, "I still want to go back and talk about what happened last week." And so then he said, "You don't want to get this thing with me?" And she said, "No." And then he said, "Okay, well then I'm done." And it's that similar feeling. I mean, that is such an immature response to say, no, I want to do everything with you, except for if you don't want to do the thing I want to do, then we're completely done. So I go back to what Nicole was saying. She wanted to marry me in month 2. So in month 2, we were so connected that she wanted to get married. And then in month 3, now, no, we're not, can't even match our energy. That is, I believe, all the data you really need. If a relationship can end that quickly off of something that we were going to be together for who knows how long.
That would be love bombing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I can't imagine any not love bombing situation where you would be getting married in 2 months.
No, me neither. Yeah, unless I watched 90 Day Fiancé a lot of times. I guess that's 3 months though.
And they're all crazy. So
they're so fun. You know what I want to get to, Sid, with you? I want to watch some of those shows and then point out the immaturity, the narcissism.
Yeah, there's Love Island is really popular right now, and there's this girlie that I love. I don't even know. I've never known anyone's name.
Is this one? I've heard a lot about someone.
I think it's like a Maya or something.
A papaya.
Yeah, and she's she cries a lot, and everyone makes fun of her for it. But she's like, no, this is a strength. And I thought it was very much giving highly sensitive person.
Okay,
you should watch it. I feel like you would have a lot to say about it.
I really would. And so it's funny though when somebody says, "Hey, I'm a highly sensitive person," and then other people are saying, well, I don't like that. It's ironic because the highly sensitive person is the one that typically matches the mood or feels the energy in the room. And so then they will sometimes play small in a situation because they don't want others to feel bad because they feel so much. So that took a lot of courage for this Amaya Papaya to say that she was possibly highly sensitive.
Other people are talking about Huda too.
Who's that?
I go back and forth if I like her or not. I feel like she just is a lover girl that really needs therapy.
Tell me, okay.
Which I am too. So
okay, tell me about what is how she's showing up that she needs therapy. I want to know as a real therapist.
There was she got major love bombed at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
This guy, he immediately was like, no, you're not talking to anyone but me, and she went for it, which I've also done that.
Okay, so sequestering, really isolation, that's not healthy at all.
But then they would get in big blow up fights, and she would literally cuss him out over pancakes and stuff. So I was
what kind of pancakes?
I can't even fight for you. I don't know.
Okay.
Not probably just plain. So
not that it matters.
It could matter. I mean, it was literally a fight about a pancake, so it could have mattered.
Was it? Okay, now I want to just watch one of these and comment on it because I would have a field day. Okay, let me stay. I saw another from Nicole. When we were together, it was amazing, fireworks, and a couple of days later, she wasn't happy. Confusing, absolutely confusing, and a lack of emotional consistency, which is a sign of emotional immaturity. Because if we start getting into these all or nothing, black or white thinking, it's that, okay, there's a right way and a wrong way to show up in a relationship. And all of a sudden, if you are showing up different, or I'm saying if she is, or no, you are, let's say that you're starting to express your feelings because you're feeling really connected, and then it is a different opinion than hers. If we're talking incredibly emotionally mature, then now she thinks, oh, you think you are right and I am wrong. And a lot of times that's where somebody will withdraw because they're making meaning out of something that should just be a curious conversation. Tell me more. We're two different people. Of course, we're going to think about things differently. Let's see. Real nerd, we need a reaction video. I want reaction videos.
I
do.
Once I figure out how to do that,
okay.
I think I know how to do that.
I actually played around with it today in Descript. Well, no, I want you to join me, but I want to do one to the Lori Vallow interview that she just did with a guy named Nate Eaton and just pick apart the emotional immaturity.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. Do you want me to read one of the questions from above?
Okay. Yes.
My girlfriend thinks I have NPD. How can I better myself for her? Also, I want to hear about Millie.
Okay. I love it. Okay, NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Please go subscribe and listen to all of my Waking Up to Narcissism podcasts. And first, because here's where I'm going to go first. The fact that you are here and you are listening to a mental health professional and asking questions about whether or not you are a narcissist, the answer is no, because a true narcissist would do nothing like that. Try to go figure out if they are. So I like to say on my podcast that if you are asking yourself if you are, you're not, because you're obviously invested in trying to figure out how to be the best version of you. Often, and I do not know your partner here. What was it? Who said that? What'd they say?
Their partner thinks that they're narcissistic.
Okay. So what's interesting, I think we talked about this last time. I'm calling it drive-by invalidation, where the person can just say, hey, I think you're a narcissist. And the person saying that just says it. They like diffuse that over onto you, the person that's asking. And now they're like, I'll go do all the work. I'll try to figure it out. Okay, I'll go read books. I'll go listen to podcasts. I'll ask a mental health professional. Meanwhile, the person that said it, I want to know why they said it. Because they just said it to get rid of their discomfort or to kind of push maybe the blame over to you about something, because you
freak out.
Exactly.
If they know that you care about the relationship, then they're going to manipulate that against you.
That's what I see often. Yeah. And so this is why you find what I call the pathologically kind often gets in relationships with the more narcissistic or emotionally immature partner, because the pathologically kind is saying, oh, okay, if I'm the problem, then I'll do whatever it takes to go figure it out. But they will go on a hero's journey to try to figure out, am I the narcissist? Am I being too emotional? What did I say that the wrong way? And then they'll show back up in the relationship and say, okay, I've done some work. I've done some research. I've discovered I don't think I'm the narcissist. And the person will say, I disagree. Oh, man, I got to go figure it out then.
The whole time you're doing like all this work on yourself, the narcissist is literally eating chips. And then the second you come back, they're like,
100%.
Well, actually, you're still a narcissist.
Absolutely.
Like, you
yes.
have to like go rebuild again.
Yes. And people will go do that over and over again until finally they're like, wait a minute, I don't think they're doing their work. But then heaven forbid you say, well, hey, why do you think I am one? It's like, I don't have to tell you, just go figure it out.
Okay, there's more information on the question about the person who like got love bombed or got married after 2 months, and then the third month it like went to poo. That one?
Went to poo. Winnie the Pooh?
Super intellectual. She was worried about losing herself because of codependency. Projecting ?
Oh, I didn't, before you got to that, I was going to say projecting ! Because it's someone that's like, and think about what projection is. I am going to project this thing that I am feeling onto someone else. And so then therefore, it couldn't be me. They're the ones doing that because I couldn't be the one doing that. And it goes back to, let's go back to this world of emotional immaturity. When you are a kid, and I want everybody to listen up to this, when you were a kid, you did things to survive. Your childhood adaptations. A good example of this is when a kid gets in trouble, what do? They just hunker down and they're not going to say a word. And then eventually their parent will say, well, just don't do it again. So it worked. It was a childhood adaptation to just shut down and weather the storm and not say a word. Now you show up in your adult relationships and you're still bringing that childhood adaptation, but now it's not helpful. It's maladaptive. Somebody gets really upset with you and you just don't say a word. And they're like, don't you have anything to say for yourself? And you're just sitting there. And eventually they're like, okay, well, I guess just don't do it again. And it worked, but it doesn't build connection. It just gets you out of your discomfort. So the projection, another emotionally immature concept is if I feel it, it must be true. So when a little kid says, you're mad at me to their parent and their parent's like, I'm not mad at you. I just asked you not to, eat cookies before dinner. And they're like, see, why are you freaking out? And because the kid feels like the parent is mad, therefore the kid is convinced the parent is mad. Take that into your adult relationships. If I feel like you're abandoning me, then it must be true. But if you were not abandoning them, you just got home and you didn't ask everything about their day. But now they're saying, I feel like you're abandoning me and you're not even taking it seriously. And now your partner is going to say, okay, I guess I need to figure out what I need to do to make them feel better. But if that's what's happening, it's a them thing. They don't like the way they feel and you need to make them feel better. But I guarantee you, they don't even know what it would take to feel better, but you better start doing it. Start dancing. Let's see what you can do. And then when you don't end up getting that right, because that is hard to just, okay, I'll try this thing to see if you feel better. Then they get to say, you don't care about me. And then you will think, well, I don't even know what I just did. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real Nerd said his childhood reaction is to go to his room and blast emo music, and he still does it.
Okay. Real Nerd, I want to know more about your relationship status.
Tony does that too, but with Sabrina Carpenter.
If I could quote a lyric, I would do it right now.
Don't lie.
No, I do. Okay. There's a Peloton walk plus run, and the first song is Please, 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 that one. And I've done that workout over and over again. So I'm very familiar with 45 seconds of that song.
Okay.
Okay. Real Nerd, wait, let's not.
Okay. How do you talk to a person who is reactive and also says you do the same thing and not argue?
Man, Sonia, thank you. I like tonight's theme of a lot of projection. So emotional immaturity. Well, you do it too. That is not a way to build a connection in a relationship. So let me break that one down. How do you talk to a person who is reactive? One of the most difficult things that one does is tries to figure out a way to talk to somebody who is not being very curious back, because you have to accept the fact that the person that's reactive is reactive. Because if I'm trying to figure out a way to say this so that person won't be as reactive, do you see where I'm going with this? Then I'm not being my authentic self. And this is where the concept of walking on eggshells starts to come into play.
Don't try to manage their emotions.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'm worried that they might feel a certain way. And I don't mean this to sound like you have to be some jerk, because I do worry about how someone will take something. But if I'm overly concerned about how somebody might take something, then I'm not sharing something in an authentic way. And then for sure, my energy, my vibe, my presence is not going to be, it's going to be off. And this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, because there's multiple ways to say the same thing. So if I even say earlier today, somebody in a relationship in a couples setting said, hey, I really am sorry that I have caused you to feel that way. So that can sound either super passive aggressive or it can sound empathetic. So it's more of like your presence.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I've always felt weird about, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So tell me about that.
That specific wording, like you feel that. I feel like even if you say that calmly, I don't like it either. Because I don't know. And I get it, but
because what if I'm saying that's a you thing?
Validating to the person who feels that way.
Yeah.
Because to them, it's like, don't be sorry because I have feelings. Be sorry because you did an action that was clearly not good.
Okay, no, can we stay in this? Yeah, because I love it. Because this is where it gets, emotions are complicated and relationships are too. So what if that person, let's try to come up with an example. What if I forgot to, well, let's say tonight you were coming here to my office to do the live, and let's say that you forgot, and I was sitting here waiting, and I had seen a bunch of clients all day, and then
never happened. That sounds so unlike me. I don't even know why you would think about
picture
that.
this, like a theater of the mind is what we're doing here.
I'm really trying to picture it.
I know. Bear with me. And so then if I went home and I just said, man, Sid, that was kind of a bummer because I was really tired and you didn't show up, and that kind of hurt my feelings. What would you say to that? Get over it, old man?
F you.
Okay. No. What would you say?
What did you say? I wasn't listening. Wait, sorry.
That's the problem. No, I'm kidding. So if I came home and I was like, hey, I thought you were coming to do a live, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Oh, I'd say,
And then
I'm really
I
sorry
said,
that you felt that way, old man.
yeah, and that would not feel very genuine to me, right?
I would say, I'm really sorry that I was late, and I will try not to do it again, and I disrespected your time and therefore disrespected you.
Okay, well, I forgive you then.
Middle-aged man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I really do. So, but if I don't think you are saying it sincere, but you think you are, that's where the problem happens. Because that's where somebody's saying, yeah, I don't feel like you're being very genuine. But if I feel like I'm being genuine, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out a way to perform so that the other person feels better. Like that's where it gets a little bit tricky. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have more.
Okay.
So, well, one person said attachment was super scary. Other people controlling how I feel is still scary. And that's so true. I like try to go into everything with like zero attachment now because I don't know what's good about attachment. Like I haven't found anything good about it yet.
When
Maybe you can enlighten me.
Well, when people can communicate in an emotionally mature way and not feel like they have to manage each other's emotions, a secure attachment, it's amazing because as a couples therapist, there were a couple of couples earlier today. Like that's a tongue twister. A couple of couples picked peppers. See where I'm going with that? Peter Piper. Okay. I'm walking off the set.
Don't. You have nowhere to go.
I know I don't.
We're
I'm kind of trapped in here.
Like pillows.
We are.
Hold up lights right now.
But in that scenario, that when couples really figure this stuff out, and I've got my beloved 4 pillars of a connected conversation, where when somebody says something, you're going to assume good intentions, or there's a reason why they said it. They're not trying to hurt you. You're not going to tell them you don't believe them or that's ridiculous, even if you don't believe them, because right now the goal is to stay in the conversation. On pillar 3, you're going to ask questions before comments. Tell me more, help me understand. On pillar 4, I'm not going to go into a victim status and go, you're right, I'm a horrible person. And when you can put that framework in place and you really hear and understand the other person, and then they feel heard and understood, and then they kind of say, well, tell me how you're feeling or what you're thinking. It is pretty wild. Like that's where the secure attachment can come from, because neither person is trying to tell the other person they're wrong about how they think or how they feel. And so you do that for a little while in a relationship, and all of a sudden you can go to your partner and say, hey, I was thinking the craziest thing. And they're not going to go like, that's weird. Or, well, why? They're going to say, oh, tell me about it. And that's where the secure attachment really feels like it's almost like a drug, No, you don't.
Anyone?
I was gonna say.
Anyone out there?
I read I said that. I knew I set you up for that.
Healthy? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, no, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. This is so good. After a 3-week break, this is the Okay. After a 3-week break, she breadcrumbed and only few word responses would say promises, lack committed to those promises, like hanging out.
Yeah.
Or like wouldn't commit to.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that she used the phrase breadcrumbing. It's somebody that's just trying to give you just enough to keep you, kind of moving down the path.
That's what happened to me. I hate breadcrumbing. Cut off a breadcrumb. Like, you deserve the full loaf of bread.
You do.
You are not a bird.
No.
Ew.
Unless you want to be.
But why? Okay.
I'm saying the birds are listening.
2020.
2025. Okay. But this is funny though. When I was talking about this Peloton workout earlier, there's a lady named Olivia that I love taking her classes. And there's one part in the workout where she says, you know what? And you just need to be kind to yourself. She's like, and others. Almost like she's like, don't forget others. And in my mind, I always say that she's going to say, and animals as well. Like, be kind to everybody. So 2025.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
For the person who said something about attachment, they also said, wait, did you answer the last question?
No, I did not.
Okay. Go
Don't you forget though.
Yeah.
So the breadcrumbing. I like what you're saying though, Sid, because if somebody is breadcrumbing you, I want that to be enough that you know that you deserve more. But typically the person is trying to still make sense of it. And okay, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I misunderstood. And that's the pathologically kind person. And remembering that something that is pathological means it can be to your detriment. So kindness is an amazing, wonderful thing. And when kindness is respected and valued and reciprocated, then please never stop being kind. But when it is taken advantage of, your kindness, that's when it becomes pathological, and that is not a healthy relationship.
A big learning point for me was don't be nice, be kind.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me the difference.
Like being nice is being agreeable, just being going with the flow,
with it, even if you
pleasing, just trying to make peace, but being kind is like you respect people who respect you, but you don't take BS. And I feel like that's like so much better.
It is, and people have to interact with others to learn about themselves in those situations. So you almost have to get your, I always say, your reps in of becoming differentiated, of learning who you are in a conversation or in a relationship. And when people often say, okay, I don't want to be in a relationship, I understand, absolutely. Especially if they've been burned before, but you're going to learn about yourself the most in relationships, whether it's with friends or a significant other, your parents, whatever that looks like, because it's like, I'm going to learn why, my buttons that are going to get pushed, my reactions. Why do I need this person to understand? Why do, or what if in this relationship, I now understand myself? I would love for them to understand, but if they're not being curious about my experience, I can't beg somebody to understand.
Yeah. And truthfully, like once you've really, really give to yourself like what you were lacking in a relationship, it's not as hard to let that person go.
It's not.
Like once you really feel that,
Well, can I share something really nerdy and deep, Sid? And I want your honest opinion. Okay. So there's a psychologist I looked up today. I think he was alive from the 1870s to 1960s. His name's Carl Jung. And Jung has this concept of becoming basically an integrated human. And he talks about how every male and female has like that stuff, the masculine, feminine within them. But listen to this paragraph, and it's going to sound, it's talking about a guy, and he says, I just think this is really interesting. So he's talking about when a guy is just desperately seeking the validation of a partner, his female partner, and she doesn't give it to him. He says her silence will torment him, her validation will drug him, her absence will define him. He's not in love. He's in servitude to the unmet parts of himself. And what he's saying there is, he's saying that oftentimes the guy isn't even really wanting to know his partner. He does not really wanting to be curious about her. It's like what she means about him or to him.
Yeah.
I feel better when I am in this relationship, but I'm not trying to get to know her.
And the sad thing is some people will chase that feeling for their entire freaking life and think that that's love, and they'll never get to experience what true love feels like when you love yourself and when you've healed and when you've faced the dark parts about yourself, and when you're not chasing validation from anyone else because you give it to yourself. It's like really sad that people don't understand that.
Well, and I love this. Another part that Jung says is, he says that you'll be drawn to this dynamic of almost like the unavailable female, because he says it reflects your deepest wound, the need to be loved by the feminine that once rejected you. This is where we don't talk enough about guys' mom issues. We talk plenty about, dad issues, but he says you'll call her difficult, you'll call it chemistry, but you're really reenacting a childhood trauma, hoping for a different outcome. And I think that's pretty deep. Because what he's missing is this opportunity to truly get to know his partner. Like, I want to be curious. I want to understand.
And you'll never know yourself either.
Yeah.
You're both just like sucking each other dry of each other's toxic energy. Like you never will feel fully fulfilled.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and Jung said that what we love in others is what we haven't owned in ourselves. So it's almost like then I feel this need for this person to complete me, but then I expect them to complete me. Then I wonder why do they not try to complete me and make me feel better? And then I try to figure out ways to get them to make me feel better. So that whole thing.
And it's just all like, it's sad because it's just insecurity. And like if everyone knew like the power that they had, like you can really just give it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to chase it.
No. But we're wired to do that until we're not. And that's what I think is interesting. Like I still love this quote by this therapist, Sue Johnson, who's the founder of emotionally focused therapy, that said, I think she said, we're designed to process emotion in concert with another human. And so when it is done well, secure attachment, genuine curiosity, it is a feeling of euphoria. It is like a drug. You want it because now I feel alive because, I know who I am, and now I'm having a shared experience with this person. But if I don't know who I am, I'm trying to figure out, how do I get this person to love me or validate me?
And it's like, why can't we wire ourselves to just be so happy in all of these moments by ourselves? Like, why does there have to be another person there? Why? Like, that's what I'm trying to get through with myself, is like, I don't think there does. Like, if there is, great.
Yeah.
But I will so happily like never have a person next to me because
So
I don't want to settle for something.
Will you poke holes in this? Will you but this what I'm about to say?
Yeah.
It was interesting. I was on an interview last week and I went back to this you literally go like from the time that you are born, then you literally don't even know you are an entity until you interact with another human.
Entity is crazy.
Like, I know, like you don't even know you exist basically and then you interact with others. But now your main job is to get your needs met. Because what does a baby do? They have to cry and yell and be cute and poop and smell like but what is it? It's like to say, I'm right here. I don't know. I don't know what I need. You guys need to take care of me. Yeah. But then you get to be a little older, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And now you can actually communicate, talk, walk around, and you're asking for things and people say, not now, bud. And you're like, wait, what do you mean? I normally just make emotions happen and people jump to my every whim. And now you're a kid saying, I think I would like candy before dinner. And your parents are like, no. But you're coming from that point as a little kid. So you're like, but I'm asking for this and you're not meeting my needs. So something must be wrong with me. I got to figure out a way to get my needs met now. So from the beginning, we need another person to make us feel whole. But then the growth process is, but then as I become older, then I learn to make myself whole. And so you're right. I mean, so that is the journey. But by the time we get there, so we've shown up in adolescence or our teenage years, 20s, and now we're I need another person. I need connection. So I'm going to not even really express my real thoughts and feelings because this person might freak out if they hear that I don't actually care about something they care about. So I'm going to pretend I care about it, but I'm going to mean well, like, because I like this person. So that's where I always make the joke of if the woman says, hey, do you like romantic comedies? And the guy's like, no, I don't like him at all, but I like her. So no, I like him.
And then you slowly change yourself to become whatever this person wants you to be.
Yeah, and lose yourself.
You don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just hate that idea that like, why is life like less fulfilling or less beautiful when you're alone? You know, I wish you could just like demolish that.
Well, and what I like what your question is the goal is to get to that point. But when you're in a relationship, you're so enmeshed, you're so codependent and when you do say, actually, I don't really like those movies, the first reaction from a partner is often, oh, hang on. I thought you said you did. Like, I don't even know who I'm married to now. And that's scary. So then it's like, no, you know what I do. So we're so afraid to even be known that then we hide that side of ourselves. And then we often that's where this like duality concept comes in. So now I'm going to have to hide that. And I have to go watch all the movies I really like on my own. But then I'm probably going to start resenting the fact that I can't be myself, but I haven't really tried to learn how.
Yeah, and then you're subconsciously reinforcing this fact in your brain that you're not good enough or that these things are bad just because they're different.
Totally. And then what's fascinating about that is if we could learn to deal with our discomfort a bit, because that's where it's like, okay, I'm going to have the courage to be known. I'm going to express that, hey, turns out I actually like these other movies. And if she says, oh, wow, that's freaks me out. If I'm like, oh, tell me about that. Like, what freaks you out about it? Like, I want to know. Because I'm okay as I am.
Yeah.
Right.
And if for some reason that was a non-negotiable,
totally, for real,
she left me,
for real,
you'd know that you'd be okay. It doesn't matter. So you can be yourself.
Yeah. That's it's funny. I like that you said that a couple of times in therapy today. There were people that we got to that point where I'm saying, hey, is that the hill you are willing to end your marriage on? You know, there was one where a person wants a new vehicle. The other person says, I don't think you need one. You know, first I'm like, okay, let's be curious. Why do they need a new vehicle? And the person's saying to me, well, I don't think they do. I'm like, no, that's the problem. Ask them, you know? And then the person was saying, well, it breaks down every now and again. I feel stranded or whatever. And they're saying, well, okay, but that's not very often. So don't worry about it. But they are worrying about it, you know? But we got to that point where it was like, okay, so are you willing to say, if I don't get a new car, I'm done? Or is he willing to say, yeah, if that's what she wants, then I'm done? And neither of them could really commit to that, you know?
I think that we should go back to the chat because I missed so much stuff.
Okay. I dig this stuff so much.
No, that was really good. I feel like we just had a good convo. I don't remember what we talked about, but it was good.
Okay. Let's see. You missed the first part. Lack committed those promises. 3.
There's one from.
Oh, breadcrumb. We got to.
Yeah. To do the one that
Did I finish the breadcrumbing? Really, the main thing with the breadcrumbing was if you are in a relationship where you are now aware that you are being breadcrumbed, you deserve more. You really do. So being able to. But here's the challenge. Tell me what you think about this. But the fact that you're in that relationship and that is what they're doing, and I'm not trying to say all or nothing, then it's doomed. But the fact you're there, it most likely is going to be difficult to bring up that, hey, I need more in this relationship because they're not giving you more.
Don't change the man, change the man.
Wait, what does that mean?
Don't like try to change who
the guy is. Yes.
Just get a different guy.
Oh. And I'm back. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But for real, like if someone's not giving you the respect you deserve, what do you look like begging for it?
And
you look like you don't respect yourself.
And what's so crazy too,
a different guy.
Yeah, well, what's crazy said is if somebody has that kind of energy, and this is where I like all the concept around energy, presence, is that if somebody is like, oh, I'm not going to beg for it, I'm gone, it will shift the dynamic in the relationship, but also it shouldn't have to get to that to shift the dynamic in the relationship. Because I've watched people end relationships fairly quick. And even then I'm saying, how do they do that? Because they're just like, oh, this person is treating me this way, I'm done. And I've only had like a couple of people do that. And I want to study them. Hey, how did you just like do that? And both times it's been where their parent modeled that from the time they were little. It's like, oh yeah, don't put up with it for a second. Like, whoa. So my bad, daughter.
Okay. Next.
Okay.
This was the question that was from earlier that I missed the beginning of.
Yeah.
And I actually haven't found it yet. Okay. It's not this one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a very empathetic person, but IDK how to build real lasting friendships because for me as a kid, attachment was super scary. Other people controlling how I feel is still scary.
Yeah. And I think this is, we go back to look up what a highly sensitive person is. There's a hsperson.com. A lady named Eileen Aaron is the first one that introduced this concept. And I think what is difficult is that if you are more highly sensitive or emotional, most likely you're going to be more emotionally overwhelmed by things like potential rejection or when people disagree. And so I find that the highly sensitive person often, I want to say they play small. Do you know what that concept means, Sid? I had somebody say that they didn't really understand it.
Play small?
Yeah. So it's like they
make, I was going to say they make themselves littler.
Yeah, they shrink and they try to fit into a tiny little box. No, that would be literal. But figurative, the playing small is like they're afraid to really express their opinion because and this is where it's hard because I never want the highly
walk on eggshells.
Yeah, they walk on eggshells and they're worried. I don't want this person to feel bad. I don't want this person to think this about me. And because when you put it that way, it's like that can be very kind because I don't want to be rude. But what if I'm just being me and that person takes it as rude? Then technically that's a them thing. But then the highly sensitive person isn't normally even going to put themselves out there for fear of someone misunderstanding or taking them the wrong way. Because if you look at like the origin story of the highly sensitive person, typically they grew up in a home where they had to really kind of read the room. Hey, how is everybody? Check the emotional temperature.
Manage everybody else.
Yeah. And if I see that the mom's getting a little frustrated, then I'm over here. I'm like, hey, look at me. Look at what I got in school today or whatever, and it's like, okay, everything's good. So I'm sacrificing myself in a sense
and you're like,
for others.
You're denying yourself of what's actually like a really beautiful thing and like a really beautiful gift. And yeah, I think I did that I don't even know if I'm highly sensitive, but I definitely did that for a while, like people pleasing and managing everyone else's emotions because you're uncomfortable with your own.
Yes.
And it's like you miss out on a lot of your own life.
Yeah. And what I think is interesting is on my podcast, I did a 2-part episode on emotional maturity, and I talked about the concept of managing others' emotions. And I really was specific. And I said, though, I think people need to start from a place of trusting their gut. But I did mention that, but I may have to accept the fact that if I think this person's being rude, then first, or if I think something's up, if I don't trust this person, I still want you to start from a place of, I want to trust my gut, but I have to also acknowledge that there's a chance that if I feel it, then I'm assuming it's true. But if I feel it, then I am going to start from that place. And now I can be more curious about what is going on. Still trust my gut. But I think too often, even the highly sensitive person doesn't want to even be curious about a situation because they don't want to make anybody upset or anger anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also important, like, yes, trust your gut, but also just be aware of if you have any like old wounds that you haven't really healed yet, or like, like trust issues or something that could like hinder that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely not the right word.
No, it's good. And so it's interesting. I know we've talked about some of these traits before, and even on the highlysensitiveperson.com website, I think they've added a couple more, or I just overlooked these before. But some of the concepts are You're more aware of others' subtleties, and it's because your brain processes information and reflects on it more deeply. You're more easily overwhelmed because if you notice everything, you're naturally going to be overstimulated when things are too intense or complex or chaotic for a long time. But here's one that I had not seen before. It says you have what is called differential susceptibility. Because you observe and reflect more about your environment, you are more affected by it. Differentially than others and susceptible to be good and bad influences, rather than just vulnerable to bad. For example, they say with a good childhood, you may be especially happy and well-adjusted compared to others, but with a poor childhood, you may be more likely to be depressed, anxious, or shy. Happily, you also gain more from interventions. Like, do you see where that's going? And I like that concept. So it's saying that, okay, let's say that you're more highly sensitive and you had a healthy, happy childhood. You can still be highly sensitive. It doesn't mean that there was like insane trauma, but you have, whether it's heightened mirror neurons or it's just who you are, genetic, DNA, you name it. And then you have a happy childhood, you're still highly sensitive, but things might not be as intense. But then if you had a poor childhood, you may be more anxious, more shy, more depressed because it's like those traits are being more
amplified.
Yeah, that's a good word. But then what this says though is happily though you will gain more from your interventions. And what I think is cool about that is I really believe this concept of polarity, that if you have known a really bad relationship, then you will be more appreciative if you can now get in a good relationship. Right. And I think that that's something that when I'm working with people and they start to recognize, okay, I'm not the problem, that it doesn't matter what I say or do, this person is not going to be curious or see me. They're going to continue to diffuse their anger, their discomfort on me because I've taken it. And now I show up different. They still try to push buttons to get me to react. I don't. Now I'm so aware of what I don't want in a relationship. But often people are telling themselves the stories of, I don't know if I'll ever find another relationship. I don't deserve to be in a healthy relationship. And that's part of that trauma bond. It's like, so maybe I should just stay here because I know this, and I can still change him or I can change. And that's just the fear of that unknown. But if you're in that, especially the people I've worked with over the years, they find themselves in really healthy relationships when they can finally detach and get out of the unhealthy ones. Yeah.
Okay. The question about getting like long-lasting friendships, they said, yeah, I'm super energetically sensitive. I wish I was in the room with you guys right now.
I do too. Oh yeah, we'd be vibing. I appreciate your, would it be Slivich?
And then
I dig it.
Someone else from the love bombing thing earlier, they said, we aren't taught how to have those conversations or even have healthy conflict. I get attached so
yeah.
I always felt like I couldn't talk about emotions in intellectual ways because I'm all in my heart.
That is, who said that? I want to praise them by name.
I left a 2-year relationship with this is the same person.
Okay.
With a covert narc. Mm-hmm. It almost destroyed me. Then I met my recent ex-partner. That's all for now.
Okay. Tell me more. Let me go back to that, Nicole. I always felt like I couldn't talk about emotions in an intellectual way because I'm all in my heart. And I am so convinced that when we were young, none of us at this point were taught what to do with our emotions. And when we expressed them, and I like starting from the place of even a good parent says, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just calm down. And so what were we told? We were told our emotions we need to not worry about them and that they're not a big deal, but I am worrying about them. I do feel like it's a big deal. So what's that message we were given as a kid is like, your emotions are wrong and they're kind of a lot. And I need somebody else to tell me if they're okay or not. So I'll stop externalizing them and I'll internalize them. And now when an emotion comes up, it is bad. It feels bad. And so we stuff them and we shove them down. And then eventually, if they even get a little bit of room to breathe, then they all just like try to get out because they think I might not ever get this chance again. And then we get overly emotional and then we feel really bad. And our relationship with our emotions is just, it's not very healthy. Yeah.
Do better. Stop having babies, maybe?
Wait. How did that get there? Okay. I don't see the correlation.
Do you want me to read more questions?
Yes.
Is it normal to feel alone all the time, even with family and friends around?
What do you think?
I don't think, what is normal, right?
Oh,
I feel like it's very regular to feel that, but you don't deserve to feel that. And if you heal and like really learn how to love yourself, you won't feel like that anymore. I promise you.
Yeah, I like that.
I used to feel like that too. So
did you?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And it wasn't until recently. It wasn't until like I feel like I had to heal for like over a year or more. It's been like years, I feel like, until I actually really started to feel the good stuff, like the self-love and like the feeling okay when I'm alone and feeling confident when I'm alone and when I'm with people. But you have to put in the work.
You do. And we still need to talk about that at some point. Like, I'd love to deep dive on that. I think that'll be like a really good place for us to go. But let me kind of address that too. I like what Sid's saying.
Or maybe you just need medication. Sorry.
Well, medication can help, because I was going to say there's a couple of ways to look at this. One, I like what you're saying. It's not, I mean, we can define normal, but you don't deserve to feel that way. But I will say often there's a couple of different variations. One might be, I didn't see a healthy relationship with emotions modeled, or people aren't very curious in my family at all. And it's not that they're bad, but it's like, I just don't even know how to do it. So that's where I always start from a good place of, if a person says, hey, I'm really frustrated because of, I don't know, somebody at school did this or said that. I mean, a good parent that doesn't really know what to do with emotions can still say, well, that sometimes things happen like that. Or, well, you got to look at what did you do to, so they're still saying things. And what it's telling you is again, when you bring your emotional conversations up, then I'm going to tell you they're wrong. I'm going to fix them. And I'm going to quickly get rid of them. So then why would I continue to open up about emotions? Or you've tried and you've probably been flat out told, like, what am I supposed to do about it? Or you know how hard my life is, and you're told those things. So either way, though, I don't feel safe expressing emotions, and that is not you as a problem, but it's something then that it is your cue to go try to find healthy relationships where you can express emotions, and they are welcome. Might even need to start in therapy. Yeah.
And other relationships, like you need to love yourself. Like, I feel like that's the most important thing first.
How hard is it though because you're right there, you're so spot on, but when somebody is at that point where they don't love themselves, like what do you think the best way is to even express what that is? Do you know what I mean?
Just do what you want to do.
And that's where you got to start.
That's what I think, like even if it's, you don't have, obviously you're not going to love yourself, right? When I say, I'm
right, exactly.
Love yourself. Oh, you done.
Then oh my gosh, I do now.
I healed
Good.
you. Obviously it's not like that, but I feel like just starting to do what you want to do, and
even little things
for yourself, like going on a walk,
yes,
or buying a candy bar,
yes,
literally whatever it is.
Yeah.
What
kind of candy bar?
I like Kit Kats right now.
I know. You got me for my my birthday, but it wasn't my birthday.
And I left one. So I thought
why did you? Okay, all right. I would say, why did you get that? It was Father's Day, right?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I made you a father, so.
Why? Thank you, Sydney.
Yeah.
So therefore, you get to eat all the Kit Kats. Somebody ate all the Pop-Tarts too.
I didn't.
I know.
I didn't.
Okay. But I was going to say something. Oh, okay. How do I start loving myself? Self-care. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care does not mean you have to go run a marathon or learn a new language or get a mani-pedi or any of those things. Self-care can be starting to dream, starting to draw, starting to read, like Sid said, going on a walk. And self-care is going to be something that is a very slow process. As a matter of fact, the concept of where people are going to make these big sweeping changes sounds amazing, but it doesn't typically last. It's not sustainable. So really, I call it raising your emotional baseline. And it's where you just have to do little things to raise that baseline of emotions, and it will become exponential. It'll become amplified. It'll grow. It'll grow. So if I just go on a little walk, like when you started playing your guitar again, I thought that was pretty cool.
That helps me so much.
Okay. How come? How so?
Because it was just something that I've always loved to do, but for some reason I just didn't feel like I was that good at it, so I never really did it.
Okay.
But then I just started I remembered how good it made me feel, so I was just I'm just gonna do this all the time, and it made me feel way better about myself.
And what were there yeah buts? Yeah, but
yeah.
What?
I mean,
it wasn't yeah, but I'm not good, or yeah, but I don't even know what to play, or yeah, but I'm probably.
But I could watch reality TV instead.
Okay. Right?
Or I could do them both at the same time.
That's now welcome to the world of ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we could do as well.
Someone said, how does emotional suppression affect us?
Well, and I think what is such a, and man, I really appreciate you being here tonight. There's some like, Slevich and Nicole and user 604799. Like, I love, you've pointed out before, Sid, where when it starts to feel like a little bit of a community and people are interacting with each other, it's so helpful.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, Riddle Nerd said something about being a furry earlier. We're going to have to address that, sir.
Yeah, we are. I would like to hear more.
I saw that. We're not letting that one slide.
Okay. I would like to tell me more about that. Okay. So the emotional, I saw the question here, emotional suppression. Wait.
How does emotional suppression affect us?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to go back to the, every, like, no bad parts, if part of me feels this way, part of me feels this way, or every emotion or is a need seeking emotion. It's trying to tell you something. So if I am suppressing my emotions, my body is trying to tell me something. It's trying to either tell me I'm not comfortable with my emotions. I don't know what to do with my emotions. My emotions aren't safe here. And so first of all, it's just being able to, and I'm doing it right now. Like you want to like open up, you breathe into that emotion. Where do you feel it? We've done the feelings wheel before. Do I feel it in my chest? Do I feel it in my throat? Do I feel it in my head? Where is it? Because my body has been trying to communicate with me emotionally since I was a kid, but I don't know what to do with them.
And I like changing the idea of like, what if it's like, it's there to tell me something. It's there so I can like learn something about myself. Like it's
that
not
is it.
a bad thing.
No.
It's a gift. It's like what we're here to do
so
we can learn, it's a beautiful thing. But like you said, like we're always taught like, oh no, your feelings are too much, they're too this, they're too that. But it's like, no, that's like kind of the whole point.
It is the whole point.
Let's start like figuring out how to deal with them.
Because go back to the part where when you're a kid, you don't really know how to express yourself. You don't know how to get your needs met. You're trying to do it from an immature way. And then you feel things. You feel afraid, you feel excited, you feel nervous. And so what your body does is it imprints that feeling on you. And I really believe what it's saying is, okay, we may not know what to do now, but let's imprint this on you. When you grow to be a big adult, then you can heal. Then you can heal that because you can go take control of that. You can heal yourself. But then we miss the memo somewhere along the way. We get to be an adult, then we feel scared and we're like, I need somebody else to make me feel better. And so your own inner child is saying, no, like you're big now. Go. I thought when you were big, you could go do all of the stuff that you needed to. You're like a big kid.
Matt's here.
Matt, what's going on? It's been a little while. Oh, look at that. That's funny. I literally just said that.
Jinxing people.
I did. It's like seeing the regulars is so cool.
Nicole said I watch too many tarot card readers to process better than other vices. Dude.
Okay, tell me about this. Okay, Sid did.
Be careful because you will have yourself convinced that someone is like the father of your future 3 children and you're Prince Charming and like literally like it's not true. Okay, well I believe in like real tarot cards. Like,
I want to know more about all this. Okay, I don't know enough about it.
If it's like a real like good reader, but if you're just like watching like the random ones that come up in your feed, like sometimes they're accurate, but it's literally like it's the algorithm. Like if they see that you keep watching the ones where someone tells you that you're going to meet your soulmate tomorrow, you're going to keep getting the ones where they
so all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, these are all saying that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the next thing you know, you got Matt, Riddle Nerd, they're like hanging out somewhere and you're like, which one of these guys is my soulmate? Right?
Okay, not sure how we got there, but yeah.
I'm giving them credit here. It's like, right? Okay, I like this too. Nicole, great point here, where my ex would call and my body would get so dysregulated before I even picked up the call. Okay, here's what I want to say. Okay, have you heard me enough, Sid, to know what I'm going to say next? That's a very egotistical thing.
No.
I'm very hurt.
No,
I'm not. Okay, but I think you will. So, okay, thank you for your honesty. My body Nicole said her body would get so dysregulated before I even picked up the call. And emotions that we're talking about, they do travel, some believe 2.5 times faster than logic. And this is why when you walk down the street and you see something out of the corner of your eye and you react and you look and it's a stick or a twig or something, but think about that. Your emotions were trying to protect you before your brain kicked in and said, oh, it's nothing. And that is a fascinating thing. So I think this goes back to the body keeps the score. And the more that you are interacting with someone that does not feel safe, that you are going to start to have these visceral or gut reactions. And it's your body saying, hey, I don't know how else to get your attention. So I'm going to start causing you to have a stomach ache, or I'm going to elevate your blood pressure, your heart rate. And then, so maybe you'll pay attention. Does that make sense?
That's crazy.
It is, right?
That's cool too.
And this is why when I'm doing couples therapy, that people will often say things like, oh, okay, look at that. I dig the heart on my head. Somebody find the one that's like the cowboy hat and it gives me like glasses and a mustache. I want to see that one again.
Grady.
What?
Nothing.
Did he call me Grady?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what was I saying? I was about to make a big point. Body keeps a score. Oh, I just left again. Hang on. Oh, okay. Couple.
They gave you the hat.
Did they? I'm ready. Yeah. Thank you. Who gave me the hat?
I think it was Nicole.
Nicole, thank you.
Queen.
Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. Matt said a hat too. I'm wearing all the hats tonight. I can't wait. By the way, it's the first time I've ever asked for my needs to be met in a session, and I look quite fetching. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so the body keeps score. When someone will say that when their spouse's car pulls in the driveway and they hear it, then they immediately like, okay, kids, everybody get ready. Nobody do anything bad. The house is all clean. And it's like they have to do this performance, and it's like their visceral or gut reaction. Body keeps a score. Fascinating. Not in a good, fascinating kind of way. Okay. Okay, Riddle Nerd was right. The body keeps a score is what I'd imagine you'd say. Riddle Nerd knows me better than you do, Sid. Tell me more about that.
Put him on this couch. See how he does.
Hey.
Jessica.
Hey, Jessica. Okay, Jessica says future psych. Does yours, if I make my screen long? Okay. I love that. Jessica, yeah. If you have any questions or jump in here or send them to me. I would love. I really like helping the young people these days, because when I was becoming a therapist, I didn't know, and I didn't have like some mentor or whatever, and I took classes I didn't have to. It took me longer to get licensed than I needed to. So I would love to know anything. Okay, you guys know anything about astrology? Sydney, do you know anything about astrology?
Yeah, I'm a Pisces and he's a Sagittarius.
I am.
And it makes sense.
Does it?
Yes, you're such a Sagittarius.
How so? Because I plugged some stuff into.
Is it fiery? I don't know, but like you're confident, outgoing, you talk a lot, you're a go-getter, ambitious.
Okay. Matt Sagittarius too. There you go. I like it. Okay.
I found another question.
Let's hear it.
I don't think we did this one. Hey, my parents are fighting again, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, okay.
That one?
No, we didn't. And this is, call it the therapist in me, but I'm curious. So is it bad for me to say like an age-ish? Because if your parents are fighting, here comes we can talk about boundary versus ultimatum. So ultimatum, you guys need to knock it off. The parents aren't going to do anything different. Boundary is a me thing. If they are fighting, then I will leave, because I would imagine if you're around that, they're fighting a lot, it'll start to raise your heart rate and your cortisol, and it will bring up your fight or flight response. And then over time, if they fight a lot, then you'll start to associate that with when they are together. And, so again, it goes back to the body keeps the score. So it would really be nice. Wait, hang on. Sydney, will you comment on what Jessica said? I would love to have a therapist dad. Would she though?
What you think? Just kidding. He's great.
Okay, I'm not buying the energy that you're saying that. I honestly, and I'm not looking, I hope you know me by now, I am not looking for validation. Did you even know what I did for a long time?
I don't know that I did. I don't remember.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay. I do think it's, yeah.
I feel like when people hear that I have a therapist dad, they think that, I don't think you were a therapist when I was growing up though, right?
I've been a therapist your whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Even when I was like 3? Okay,
so I've been it for a little over 20 years, and you're what, 17, 18? You're 23?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
See, I love that though.
Well, I don't know.
No, it's like
it's great now. I love it now.
Okay.
But that's the thing. We all had to grow.
We do, and
I don't
think I knew what my dad did all through high school. I just know he went to an office and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've wondered that before. Does anybody even really know what their parents do? Yeah. Okay. Okay, therapist dad. I've been a therapist your whole life. Okay. Oh wait, Matt. Wait. Before I go. Okay. What if he's doing this just for power or control? We're waiting. Okay.
I'll block you, Matt.
Tell me more.
Weren't you just talking about something? Oh, did I stop?
Yeah.
I did. I still haven't done it. Wait. I did do it once, actually.
Okay. But one time, it was like...
It was like so underwhelming and lame.
Really?
And, like, it didn't have any power over me anymore, and, like, I didn't even feel guilty. I was just like, "Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was the thing."
So it's been well over a year.
Yeah, and I don't miss it at all.
Really?
And I don't feel like my lungs are gonna pop every
That's what I was gonna ask, like, is there
fun.
Okay, that is good. No, okay, Matt, that was a great question. Yeah. Oh, Jessica, your daughter is so gorgeous.
Thanks, Queens.
Hey, Coach Craig is here. Go, Sid.
Hi, Coach Craig.
Okay, this is really funny because Coach Craig, I really miss Coach Craig. He's done a live with us before. We want to get him on doing more lives. And Coach Craig and I have had a hard time connecting. So I was going to joke with him. Coach Craig runs a men's addiction group called The Mindful Habit. And it's, oh, did we get the puzzle piece? Oh! Okay. She did. At least. Okay. Let's talk about that. We'll wait till that one rallies. Yeah. Okay. That one's. Sorry if anybody's getting motion sickness there. Okay. Okay. Oh, Sid, it's going down. Wait, is it good? Okay, there it is. Okay. Back to. Before I get back to praising my friend Coach Craig, I was going to joke with him though. I do a group for him. I facilitate a men's group, and then he has groups during the week. And I knew we were going on here live, and I was going to joke with him, and I should have. I was going to say, hey, if you want to talk, Coach Craig, we could talk on the live. We should bring him back on though at some point, right? But Sydney called me when I was in California last week, and she said my laptop is out in a pouring rainstorm. Do you remember this?
No, I don't recall this at all.
And she was asking if you unplugged it, would you get electrocuted and end? Right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you ended up doing that. You did not end. Trying to watch all the things to say. And then you put your laptop in I saw a giant container of rice.
Yes.
And then what's the verdict?
3 days.
3 days.
Okay. And it didn't work.
It didn't? Okay.
And I honestly, I looked up online if I should do it, and everyone said no, and I still did it anyways. So.
Okay, and you did, and it didn't work. And so then Sid's got a new laptop there, and then that's the one that you heard crashing down on the floor a few minutes ago. Yeah. But okay, so did we have a question there that we were talking about? Jessica said you're gorgeous.
You were talking about Coach Craig. Nicole was saying something. Nicole said, I don't know if there's something before this, but I see it was confusing because my abusive ex before her, I thought it was just me being triggered, and it was me.
Ooh, Nicole. Okay, tell me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm completely following, and I want to. So,
there's more.
Okay. Or Nicole, if you want to give us a little bit more too, I think that would be good.
But you were talking about.
That was the most quiet I think we've ever been.
You were talking about, Jessica? You were talking about the
Oh, hey, see you, Craig. Thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's what we were talking about. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if they're even here anymore, so I don't know if they're older or younger, but I guess you could just pick one and say what to do, because there's kind of a big, like, you can't just leave your parents if you're a child. That's where I was going. I was starting to poke around there and to say, age related, but I do think it is safe because, okay, let's talk a little bit about one of the things I like talking about, the amygdala hijack. So when your parents are fighting, they've most likely lost access to their prefrontal cortex, the part of their brain that is logical. They both have their cortisol, their adrenaline's flowing, and they're probably just hurling insults at each other. Hopefully that's all. Jessica will definitely be on next Sunday, but we might be on sooner than that.
Yeah, we're going to do more.
It's not
today.
Sunday.
It is not.
But we'll definitely be on Sunday.
Yeah, that's our normal, like when we've been trying to do it. But we're going to try to do it a couple nights a week is the goal. Yeah. Okay. So where was I at with that? Oh, but it's the amygdala hijack. So often when somebody is getting angry or yelling, even at maybe, let's say, one of you or at somebody else, and when you were trying to calm them down, unfortunately, that's where a lot of times they are in that fight or flight response. And in that moment, then they have such a hard time. They're not open to reason or logic. And that's why boundaries become so important. If this is what is happening, then I need to exit the situation, because if not, now I'm also going to start getting emotionally dysregulated. My fight or flight response is going to kick in. So I can't stress that enough. A boundary is a you thing. It's to protect you. It is, if this is happening, then you need to do something about it. And that could even be just leaving. Then, yeah. Okay. Oh, Slevich, I'm going to be here every night. Too good to pass up. Awesome. Thank you. Love it. And okay, so we just passed the hour mark with the puzzle piece. So let's take maybe one or two more questions. We'll do that, and then we'll call it a night because I have a therapy day tomorrow.
You heard him, people.
Okay.
Expose your problems to us.
Wait, hey.
Great detail, and give us first and last names.
Okay. Wait, Mom just sent me a picture of your computer. It looks like it. Oh, it comes up, but it doesn't. Does the trackpad not work? Okay. So I don't know if she's listening.
No, yeah, it's it. You can have it, Mom.
Okay. 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 Any other questions before we call it a night?
Where are you guys from?
You? Me? Oh, where are other people from?
No, where?
Okay.
Long day?
It has been. It really has been a whole lot of therapy.
Oh, your cat story.
Okay. Let's get back to this.
We're from California, by the way.
Yeah, but currently
in the great state of Arizona.
That's right. In the desert.
Yeah.
Today, currently it is 9:30 and it's 96 degrees outside. Are you enjoying that?
No.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
I like it in the I don't like it.
Okay. The best part is if you were to look in my office, I have a heater, and today, for some reason in Arizona, the main thing that I think people like to do is have it be 110 outside and then 70 degrees or I think it's 68 in here. Yeah.
It's
and
crazy.
So today I had my heater on and my jacket, and then I had to go run something out of the garbage, and I walk out there and it was 108 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have to keep like sweatpants and like sweatshirts in my car just to come here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how brave we are?
Do you guys understand how hard it is for us to have like great AC? I don't think you guys get it.
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
I know that's, yeah. Okay.
That was literally the most privileged.
Yeah, edit that part out. Do you know what it's like to be so freezing? I have to wear my embroidered jacket and use my heater.
Don't be like that, Tony. I would never be like that.
Okay. Why do my cats love me more than people, says Riddle Nerd? Tell me more about that, Riddle Nerd. Okay, the story though, Millie and Kobe. So Kobe, I apologize for this. I did record an episode about this, and I am going to quote myself, and I'm going to read the transcript. Millie is a Persian cat. She's sleek, she's fancy, she's elegant. She belongs to my son's girlfriend's family. Okay, and honestly, this is a really cheesy thing I wrote. I said, after pictures of my grandson, Millie is next in line for who I look forward to seeing updates about, because they will send lots of pictures of Millie, the cat, the Persian cat. On the 4th of July, I got to meet Millie in person, and it was kind of like meeting a celebrity, because I saw her and she has this lion's cut, but then I tried to pet her and she was not having any of it. Like, that's the part where I feel like cats are narcissistic by nature, because they're... Or
you're an evil spirit, and so it doesn't want to go near you.
Okay. I don't think I am, but I hear you. But then you got Kobe, so originally purchased as a purebred mini Australian Shepherd to be my running dog. Do you want to insert anything in there?
I love Kobe.
It turns out he's not purebred. He's part
product of incest.
Probably, and part Corgi, and then 3 out of his 4 feet have like some genetic abnormality. So there is no running with Kobe, and he can't see very well, and he has poor eyesight. So then he like runs into things. He lacks depth perception, and
his eyes go 2 different ways.
They do. And I used to throw him a treat every night in slow motion, and he wouldn't catch it. And now I feel bad because I was shaming him. But here's why I put this in a podcast. Kobe is the ultimate people pleaser, and he's eager and he's affectionate, and all he wants is for people to love him and pet him and feed him. Right? Then you got Millie, gives nothing away. And because of that, I want her attention even more. So like cats are basically inviting a trauma bond, because when they come to you and they purr, it's like, oh my gosh, I did it. Like, this is amazing. And then they're like, enough. And then they withhold their attention. So I just thought it was...
Whereas a dog like needs your constant validation to survive.
Absolutely. And so then I thought about this. So thank you. I would say when you were looking at me first, I thought you're like, okay, where are we going with this? But so Kobe, I think, represents this part of us that just is eager to do anything to be chosen or to be given a treat. It's the dog that waits by the door, wags at all the move, adjusts, contorts, begs, whatever you need it to do. And it's always going to be there. And Millie is the person who is in the relationship who, by withholding things, they gain power, and through like this emotional distance and mystery and detachment. And so I just think that's really fascinating. And so if you're the Kobe in your relationship, I think you lose your sense of self because you start saying, okay, what else can I do to get the treat? How else can I change to get the treat? And I really think that becomes the beginning of a trauma bond. You see where I'm going?
Yeah. You hear the term like golden retriever
Yes,
boyfriend?
exactly.
Like people think they want that.
They don't. Why? Why do they not? Because I think this is
Why do you
fascinating.
want someone who doesn't know who they are and who is so insecure and unsure of themselves that they need to constantly be doting on you to feel loved? Like,
Yeah.
That's so like unfulfilling.
Now, you are correct, and I can make the joke. And I can say, yeah, who wants somebody in the relationship who's like always wanting to be with you and like wants to do stuff with you, and oh my gosh, I just want you to love me, and like that sounds horrible.
That's fine. It's
I know, I'm
when
kidding.
it's obsession.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I think the more that you try to win somebody over, the less that you are able to figure out who you really are. Because it's like I need to figure out how to get this person to like me.
And do they really love you, or do they
No.
just love you loving them? And do they even know how to love you because they can't love themselves? You know?
Cut that clip
I'm
out.
literally Gandhi. Like
That was pretty good.
Actually, like
you may get
my third eye just opened.
It did, and I know that is some sort of chakra thing, right? But okay, what I like you're saying though, I did have this in a couples session tonight, and I never said it this way, and it's funny. So here's my own immaturity. After I said it, neither of them like reacted, and I wanted to be like, I don't know if you heard me, but I just said something. I didn't say that part, but what it was the husband said, okay, I want to talk about these difficult subjects that I think you have done, and he's like, and we need resolution. And then I said, oh, we don't though. The goal is, especially right now, is to be heard, to really try to understand each other. Because resolution typically is one person finally saying, okay, no, you're right. I messed up or whatever. But if that person's like, but I don't think I did, but I will say it so that you will feel better, and then we can get out of this conversation.
Yeah, it's both people just being unwilling to sit in their own discomfort.
Absolutely.
It's just like, let's wrap it up.
Yep. And then here's the thing that I had never really put together is then when they would go back and have a conversation about whatever that same thing was a month later, then she would not be consistent with her story. And it's because she was trying to say the thing that she felt like would be the right thing to say to get out of that conversation. Because if she didn't say that, then he thought she's not being honest. And so then when they come back to it a month later and she's not saying the exact thing, it's because she was just trying to figure out how to get rid of the tension in the relationship, and it wasn't being her authentic self. And so I thought that was like a really powerful moment, because he needed to be okay with her having a different opinion, even if it was something that he was not happy about, because that's kind of a him thing, right? Okay.
Period.
Okay.
Jessica, I thought you were asleep.
Okay.
Should we end on her question?
Yeah. What'd she say?
She said, I'm actually about to ask a question that won't leave my brain. Why may it be that when someone says they understand that it doesn't resonate with me, that they are being understanding? Wait, can I read that again?
Yeah. Why
may it be that when someone says they understand that it doesn't resonate with me, that they are being understanding?
Yeah, this is really good. And real quick, Larissa, I love what she says. Not y'all making me rethink my want for a golden retriever boyfriend. That's kind of funny. Okay.
Take them back to the past.
Right. Okay. Okay. That, Jessica, what you just asked there, I would recommend go to the Virtual Couch podcast. And I did an episode a couple of weeks ago about genuine curiosity. And I love where you're going with that, because it's been on my mind a lot. There's two things that could be happening. One is acknowledging, and this is where I say we're all emotionally immature until we're not, till we learn what we are doing that is more immature. So there's a version of this that's like, I don't think this person really understands. And so I need to first look at it like, what would I need in order to really believe this person understood? Because there's a good chance that this is a me thing. Like, oh, I still feel bad. But even if they're like, no, I do, I understand you. But what if what they understand is like, oh, well, I wanted you to do something about it, or I wanted you to tell me like that, but you think I'm awesome, or I wanted you like that. Then I would really think you understood. Like, and I have to be able to own it. Does that make sense?
And maybe it's a little like, could have something to do with like I feel like actions speak so much louder than words.
Yeah.
That like maybe someone's just saying something.
For sure.
It's hard.
Well, yeah.
But I also resonated with like, maybe it's just a little bit of an insecurity within yourself, which I could relate to too. You know, like we all have things like that, especially if it's something that you are trying to seek understanding from another person about. it's probably something that you're struggling with yourself. I don't know. Maybe we need
Sid,
more context.
okay, but I can give you an example that came up in a session, and even before I do that too, I like the. Well, no, let me give the example. So let's say that somebody is saying, somebody is reminding, they're reminding their spouse of something. Okay, they're like, hey, don't forget to call the doctor. And if the person that they're reminding, they do act a little bit like disappointed, a little put out, like, no, okay. And then that person that reminded them says, hey, do you want me to keep reminding you? Because it seems like you're a little bit upset right now. And the person's like, oh, no, I do. Now, first of all, the person said, I wish you didn't have to remind me. Like, I need to take ownership of my own stuff like that. And so I'm frustrated that you are having to remind me, but I'm appreciative of you reminding me. So it's a me thing. And and that's one that can be difficult, because if that person that was reminding, it would be a lot easier if the person they reminded was like, hey, I really appreciate it. Like, thank you so much. Like, that would be a really good way to show up. But the challenge is that, that person being reminded, they are reacting in real time. So they're not going to always do it perfect. And I think that's one of the difficult things, because it's like, oh no, I'm grateful. And this is why I talk about this concept of whole object relations. Like, I can be grateful that you reminded me. I can actually really love the fact that you are willing to remind me. I can also be embarrassed that you have to remind me. And I can be frustrated with the fact that I have not followed through on it. And that's emotional maturity, is I can have all of those emotions together. But if the person's like, yeah, I don't like the way that you responded to me. I mean, I can understand that, but also is that person expecting perfection? Is like, hey, every time you remind me about something, even if it's at the end of the day, even if I feel like emotionally kind of zapped, and then I don't say, man, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate that I'm doing it wrong, or that I don't care, because that wouldn't be the case. So that's what I like about, of this concept of almost like that, managing other people's emotions or that sort of thing. Okay, I want to take a real quick shot at something. Okay.
Yeah, and guys, I'm already screenshotting questions for next time, because there's some good questions.
Okay. And Nicole, yeah, there are some good ones. I was Esperanza, who I swear has been here before, and if so, welcome back. And then how do you learn to trust again? I just want to throw something out there and said, if we can remember this, maybe we can do this next time, is that I really often, this probably comes up daily in couples therapy, of somebody just says, I don't know if I can trust this person again. And I do. I often say, well, you have to accept the fact that you may not trust that person again, because they do need to rebuild trust, or trust needs to be, it needs to be from consistency, and it needs to be from somebody taking ownership of things. And this is that concept of where acceptance doesn't mean that I will never trust again. Okay, it doesn't mean apathy. It means that I'm going to accept, I'm going to take in without defense in its entirety. So once I accept the fact that I may not trust again, then I'm not, everything isn't can I trust that? Can I not trust that? It's like we're interacting, and I'm noticing that, okay, that's hard for me to trust. And there's an episode on the virtual couch I did, it's probably over a year and a half ago, episode 378. It is on trust. And there's an author on there. And I really like this concept that they said. They said that when somebody, if somebody betrays you, that it shouldn't be such a shock. Tell me what you think about this, Sid. That it shouldn't be as big of a surprise that a person does a thing that you didn't expect them to do. Because that really is what it is happening when, hey, I was trusting you that you wouldn't do that.
That's true. It's like, did I really expect that I would be able to predict every single action that you would ever make in your entire life?
Yeah. So then this author said, okay, when somebody betrays our trust, what happens is we have an idea of who they are, and then they behave in a way that runs against that idea of who we thought they are. So then we say to them, man, I thought you were different. I thought you weren't like that. How could you do that to me when I had this idea of you? And the next line he says is, I remember when I put this in the podcast, I got a little bit of negative feedback, because he said, it's a tyrannical way to behave. It's that I have this idea of you, and now you have to conform to it, or the relationship is over. And so then the interviewer said, so basically what this author's saying is we're stuck in this binary. We either totally trust somebody, or they betray us, and then we're done with them. And so he said the other way of thinking about it, and he calls it mistrust with a capital M, gives a third option. And even the interviewer said it's hard to get your head around, but it's basically like saying, if you trust people less, it's a more liberating world. And then you'll have more respect for the fact that you won't know someone perfectly, and that their behavior will most likely sometimes betray you or let you down. I like it. But then it's funny because we default to all or nothing or black or white. And then it's like the brain's like, oh, okay, so I'll never trust him. Yeah. Like, oh, rewind this part. Right? Okay.
Well, I feel like I'm a broken record with what I'm about to say.
Okay. What? How awesome your dad is? It's okay. No, I'm okay if you say that. Like I can.
He is.
Do you know?
I don't even know how old you are.
Okay. We haven't played this game in a while. How old?
55.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel very seen.
What was I gonna say?
No, come on, you gotta remember.
Trust issues. Oh, I definitely had like really bad trust issues. And I feel like it was another situation. And again, I feel like I keep saying this, but like if you really like make an effort to like find yourself and love yourself, like you won't really have trust issues because it doesn't matter if that person betrays you because you have yourself. Like, yes, it will hurt.
That's a good point.
It really doesn't. Like, it's like I used to live like such like a male-centered life, really, that it was like my whole life depended on this person being loyal to me. Like if they were
then was something wrong with me?
It would like tear, like it would just mean like my whole life was over, you know? But like now I look at it so differently where it's like, no, like I'm cool being alone. I like myself. And if they are loyal, good. If they're not, it doesn't matter because I'll have myself still, you know, like I'll always be loyal to myself first, you know?
Oh, that if you can hold on to yourself and maintain a connection with somebody, then that's where like that is presence. That is like it's secure and it's emotional intimacy, differentiation, all those things. And it goes back to this phrase. It sounds a little cheesy, but it's so true. Is it takes courage for you to be known, for me to be able to express who I am, and it takes a lot of courage to know somebody, to know your partner, and not then try to tell them that they shouldn't be who they are expressing themselves as. Okay, Sid.
Someone said you easily look early 40s. I'm jealous.
Oh, that was real nerd.
Oh, he was lying because we called him a furry.
Yeah,
he called himself a furry.
Okay.
Still gonna have to get to that.
Yeah. But real nerd, I believe you. Who am I to say that real nerd was not being genuine?
Yeah, and you can be a furry if you want.
And I can look in my early 40s.
Okay. Whatever you want to believe, King. Just kidding.
Did you call me King? Okay, because I was about to say something Queen, and then you said King. So there we go. See, I'm hip. I'm in my 40s.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will be back. We can do it again later this week, Sid. Because and we should start with that. What Sub was just saying, invalidate someone else's feelings. Because I do. Please come back
all the time. Just kidding.
Stay tuned. Coming up next time on the virtual couch.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Thanks so much, everybody. That was a wonderful time.
Peace out.